Hey guys, welcome back to the No Good Sports Show. I'm Nasar here with Abdullah and Saad. And we're here to talk about basketball. But first, we gotta talk about what he's wearing.
What I'm wearing.
What you're actually wearing.
I think I'm pretty fashionable today. I'm wearing the Canadian tuxedo, jeans on jeans. I think it's fashionable. But if you're calling me out on my fashion, look at his hair, dude.
That's a good.
He has a Squilliam from SpongeBob thing going on with a bit of blonde.
That's a good point as well.
Let's talk about the Raptors. That's what we're here for. NBA.
Change the topic again.
Let's go back to what we're supposed to be doing.
Let's get back to the Raptors. Actually, second best team in the East, 14-4. Undefeated in 6. But all the credit's gotta go to that defense, man. Every time they have any player in the post, almost doubling him. We saw that against Orlando. We saw that against the Knicks. And we saw that against Embiid, and we all saw how that night ended. Yeah.
Almost every team this season that they played against, they played amazing defense. And I just want to go back to a very famous quote in basketball: "Offense wins you games, defense wins you championships." What do the Raptors want? Championships. So let's talk about how their defense is so good. Basically, it's at the end of the day, it's just team defense. Box and one, triangle and two. It's just very good defensive schemes, and we're using that to shut down people, all-stars, superstars. Team defense wins games, wins championships, and Raptors use that philosophy and have pursued it to perfection early on this season.
Talking about stopping big players, I said the stats are here. Joel Embiid, 0 points, 0 from 11 from the field. LeBron James, 13 points, just 5 from 15 from the field. Kawhi Leonard, 12 points, 2 from 11 from the field. Damian Lillard, 9 points. Also, just 2 goals from 2 from 11 from the field.
Yeah,
2 from 12 from the
we
field.
broke that field record of his. He's like 10 points, and I think 239 consecutive games or something. And Raptors broke that. Embiid first time with scoreless. Come on.
I watched that game. It was crazy.
I mean, it was not only he was missing shots. He missed a couple of free throws as well. I mean, we did everything we could to put him off. Marcus Gasol was amazing defense.
Veteran experience. 36 years old, playing like a 26-year-old on the defensive end, right?
Yeah, absolutely. An absolute G there.
Great play calling by Nick Nurse. We have to give him a shout out. Great coach.
Talking about Nick Nurse, he just had his 100th game as coach for the regular season.
I like to applaud him. He did really good.
72-28. Fantastic record for a coach who's just coming to the league, and he has the NBA title. So I mean, lots of credit goes to him.
And considering the adversity he got, we fired Dwayne Kelsey. He was coach of the year that year, and then just to prove that Masai Ujiri made the right choice by firing him was huge for Raptors fans, and it's paid off. Congratulations, Nick.
It was a tough call, but Masai made it.
Yeah,
Nick Nurse, I think he's shown out. Like last season was easier. It wasn't easier, but you have Kawhi, you have Danny Green. When you have Kawhi, it's always going to get easier a bit. But without them, that was just going to be a challenge this year.
And he's done great.
He's killing it.
But talking about Nick Nurse, Nick Nurse came when Dwayne Casey got fired in the 2018 offseason. You know what else happened to Dwayne Casey? What else happened to the Raptors organization? DeMar DeRozan got traded. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's trade rumors that DeMar DeRozan might return back to Toronto. What are your guys' opinions on that?
Look, I love DeMar DeRozan. Ever since he was drafted to the Raptors, he's been a great player. He's helped us become contenders to where we were. I don't think the championship would have been possible if it wasn't for his trade. But in all my love for DeRozan and everything, I just can't take that. We just can't trade for him now.
You don't want DeRozan? Not
at this point, man. He's a good player. He helped the Raptors a lot. Maybe at the end, twilight of his career, his last season or something. But he just doesn't fit into our plan because we're still trying to win. And as good as we're doing, I just don't think DeRozan will be helping us on both ends of the floor.
I agree. I think our main team motto is defense, and DeMar DeRozan clearly lacks that, and he doesn't have a 3-point shot either. And he's going to be taking a place of a player, even if he goes on the bench. I just don't see where we can fit him in. I don't see a good trade really, because we're going to have to give up quite a bit for him anyway. So I don't know. I don't fancy it, to be honest.
So another popular trade rumor in the NBA right now. Memphis needs to get rid of Andre Iguodala. The Raptors have shown interest in Andre Iguodala. Thoughts and opinions on that?
If the trade rumors what was the trade rumor that was actually talked about Andre Iguodala? Who was included in that trade rumor?
I believe it was Norman Powell, maybe a Marcus Gasol sprinkled in there, and a first-round pick.
Iguodala's a good player, but don't get me wrong, he's going to be a free agent next year. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he'll re-sign with the Raptors, and I think the way Norman Powell played last night, he drove his career high. Raptors were sinking against Orlando. It was for him. and maybe solely him and the defense, the Raptors came out victorious. It was a gritty win.
He's outscored Orlando in the third quarter.
19 to 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But then he really took over. I mean, we were always looking at Norman Powell as that outcast of the team. He wasn't really performing as much as we probably wanted him to. But last night he really, when Pascal Siakam's shots weren't going in, Fred's shots weren't going in, no Kyle Lowry, no Serge Ibaka. I mean, Norm stepped up and he did very well.
But we're going quite off topic here. Let's go back to Iguodala. Do we want him as Raptors fans? I personally say I would like Andre Iguodala.
I think we're giving up too much. Another first round pick. I'm against it. As we gave up last year for Kawhi. Understandable. Is Iguodala worth you giving up a first round pick? He's a good defender. Don't doubt that. But will the Raptors be too crowded up front then?
That's a fair point.
Ibaka, Gasol, Siakam. I know you've seen Boucher, but would they be able to take up Iguodala? You know, that'll be your fifth big man. And Boucher's he's good enough to be your fourth big man on the team. You know, he's not too bad. So I think with that, I'm gonna have to say no to Iguodala. As good as he is, I think the Raptors right now are.
Saad, what about you?
I think it's a tricky decision. I think it's all to what we offer and what they accept. I'm not too keen on giving up too much, especially I've heard in later hours that Pat McCallum will be one player who might be going there. Norman Powell again. I don't know. And first round pick. I don't know if we can really do that for someone whose contract is expiring. And even if he does help us get a title.
It's a 1 year thing, you know.
It's difficult.
I think too short term every year.
Yeah.
I think long term.
Well, we've got to start looking for the future as well. So, Pat McCall, he's a player for the future. We have Norman Powell, player for the future. I mean, it's a tough one.
So talking about long term, there's a 2021 free agency class, you know, and apparently there's reports Miami are prioritizing for Giannis. That might be a big free agency class because Paul George and Kawhi might opt out of their contracts, which most people expect them to because they might be able to make more money at that time. As 2 years time, Paul George, Kawhi still might be in their prime in a way, so they can still be offered more money. So,
but you talked about those two, but you're players who are still very good, including Gordon Hayward. You got Mike Conley Jr. You got Drew Holiday, defensive beast in my opinion. You even got Anthony Davis if he does not opt out of his program next year, which he most likely will. You have DeMar DeRozan, who we talked about before. We also have the main man, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's talk about him for a second.
See, look, I think every team in the NBA would want Giannis.
A piece of the pie. Yeah.
You know, there's no one. The NBA hasn't seen a presence in the paint like Shaq, the way Giannis is. You know, you can't just from the half-court line. You take 2 steps and you're just able to go and dunk it off. You know,
you can't stop him unless you're Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and I think the Greek Freak. He is the Greek Freak.
I still believe deep down in my heart that Masai Ujiri is the key, and he's gonna bring Giannis back to Toronto. Hopefully that happens, but Miami is a team that attracts big stars. Yeah. Jimmy Butler is already there. Does Giannis want to team up with Jimmy Butler and take over the East with Miami? We saw players like LeBron James who went there, Chris Bosh went there. I don't know, it's difficult. I mean, he really can go anywhere. It's all about, in 2 years' time, where every team is at. I mean, is Bucks really contending for a title in 2 years? If it doesn't work over the next 2 years, why would he want to stay?
And it's so sad. I just want to bring up a topic. Location, how important location is. Toronto, it gets to negative 30 in the winters. NBA stars, all-stars hate that. Like, you think if Toronto was, negative, was always in the 20s this summer, every time it was Miami weather, do you think Vince Carter would have left? Do you think Chris Bosh would have left? In my opinion, no. Kawhi Leonard, he eventually left. He said that's because of family, but I think deep down it's also the weather thing, which is so unfair.
Look, I think when Kawhi came, he actually loved Toronto for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
He had his decision. Everyone has their own decisions, and everyone has their own right for their own decisions. We have our right for our opinion, so we can speak our opinion. But at the end of the day, it's whoever decision it is, and it's final with them. So the rest of us just have to be fine with it.
Yeah.
But with Giannis, look, Milwaukee's not a big. It's not a big team. It's become a big team because of him, but it's not a big city area. It's like not like New York or LA or Miami even. It's not like one of those. But if there are also chances of him staying, what do you say about that?
To be honest, I would. If I'm a Bucks fan, I would be confident that he's re-signing. They've always been loyal to Giannis, so who knows? But I think he will re-sign with the Bucks.
What about the top 2 teams? It seems like LeBron and Giannis, they're just going at it for MVP, for the best team in the league. There's just no stopping either of them. Both teams on 10-game streaks. What's gonna go on?
They're both top of their conference, as we both said. Which team will outlast the other? Personally, I gotta give it to my man LeBron James. He will not carry the Lakers, but he will lead the Lakers over the Bucks when it matters the most.
I think it's difficult to say, but I'm leaning toward Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he leads the Bucks so well, and even though LeBron has 80 by his side, he's just a Greek freak. He is too good. I think.
Do you truly believe Giannis is better than LeBron James?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying right now, who can lead their team further? I'm not even saying that the Bucks will make it out of the East, but I'm saying Giannis is the Bucks right now. The way they're playing, if they go against Los Angeles Lakers next week, I think Giannis and the Bucks.
Giannis couldn't get past Marc Gasol. What makes you think he will get past Anthony Davis? Playoffs is what matters, bro.
That was Kawhi Leonard and Marc Gasol, and we stopped him. All right,
we stopped him.
There's ways to stop LeBron possibly in the future as well.
I disagree with you so much. With all due respect to the Raptors, I love the Raptors. LeBron James and Anthony Davis is a much better defensive presence than Kawhi Leonard and a 36-year-old Marc Gasol.
If we look at it that way, Toronto Raptors did defend LeBron James and Anthony Davis this season. We did really well and we beat them. So I don't know. It's difficult.
I disagree with you entirely.
With all this coming down, can't forget about Melo though.
Carmelo Anthony
coming back to the NBA with Portland. He's been lighting it up recently,
Can we talk about his? He had a tough start, but can we talk about his 3 recent games?
Yeah.
25 points, 8 rebounds. Okay, 19 points, 4 rebounds, and last night's game, 23 points and 11 rebounds, double. Carmelo Anthony is back, ladies.
He's looking like the old Melo. The headband Melo.
The headband, the celebration. My favorite celebration.
He's exactly where he belongs in the NBA. He's definitely good enough to play, and let's see what he can do with the Trailblazers.
I don't know what happened with Houston last year, but I am so happy he's back. It took him a year, but he's back where he belongs.
I think we've seen a bit of a revival in 2 players this season. Carmelo's surprising a few people, but some people expected. I think Dwight Howard. He's been recently. Yeah. I think this year he's taken on a lesser role with the Lakers, and he's excelling really well with the Lakers. And you can't say that from being one of probably the player who was stopping LeBron James in the East when he was with the Magic, to now playing with LeBron James, but he's not playing as well. He's playing as well.
We talked about that. He was I think in 2010, 2011, he was the best big man in the league. So for him to finally accept that, his body isn't as strong as it used to be, and he's a bench player, to JaVale McGee of all players, to him to finally accept that I'm props to him, and now he will be rewarded by he's finally on a contending Lakers team who will most likely make it to the NBA Finals. So congratulations to Dwight Howard.
Okay.
And of course Carmelo Anthony. I'm so proud of him.
Thank you guys. It's been a real pleasure today talking with you guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also follow us on following social media platforms, as well as our own Instagram, The No Good Sports Show.
Thank you guys, and hopefully I won't have to be seen with these 2 fashionistas.
I look great today. I don't know about his hair, but I think I look great today.
Anyway, guys, please have a good time, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Action.
Hello all, and welcome to the No Good Sports Show. Today, my name is Saad.
My name is Abdullah,
And here, we're going to talk about sports.
Hold up. What is this? You guys start without me? Come on, guys. Come on. Let's go. We gotta go do this together.
I did not know we were actually doing it. Right. Let's hold it again.
What? Action.
Sorry. Should we?
Yeah, sure. Alright. Hello all, and welcome to the No Good...
Okay.
Sorry. The name? The name?
No Good Sports Show, take 3.
Action.
So guys, please follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, Sportsnet Canada. Sports Trends.
There's a website.
Okay. So guys, please. Ready? We've all been ready for a while. Okay.
Yes, how you do. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Catch us also on Facebook on Sports Trends.
Watch
Also,
the
these
Saad
follow social medias, as well as we have our own Instagram called the No Good Sports Show. So don't forget, catch us on